Hello everyone, welcome back to our YouTube channel SAP Navigator. In today's video, we will discuss about the variant pricing in SAP SD. If you gone through our previous video, that is about the variant configuration setup in SAP SD. Okay, if you haven't watched it yet, you just go there and watch it. I'm giving that link here. So in this video, this is a continuation for that variant configuration. So here we will discuss the variant pricing. So in this video I will discuss the in detail concept, configuration and business scenario as well. So before going to our video, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe my YouTube channel SAP Navigator. If you have any queries, you can write my email to sapnavigatorforyou@gmail.com. Okay, let's get into today's video. So first we'll try to know the agenda of this video. The agenda of this video is we will get to know what is the variant pricing and the business requirement and where it can be useful and the process overview and what are the configuration steps we have to do, and we will create one sales order with the variant pricing. Okay, coming to the first thing, what is variant pricing? So variant pricing is used when the product price depends on the selected characteristics. Okay, so it depends on the characteristics values. So what are the characteristics values you are going to select in the sales order? So that value, based on that value, price will come. Okay, so it will be applicable for the configuration material. Okay, either it can be KMAT or FERT. Okay, whatever material type, like it can be useful for the configurable materials. Okay, price will be determined dynamically. So I'm saying dynamically means, I'm saying dynamically means the dynamic conditions what we are selecting during the configuration. Okay, during the sales order material configuration. Okay, so before that, like I would like to show you one example in SAP how this variant pricing will take place. Let me take you to the SAP. So let's say I will create one sales order here. Okay, my order type SAPN. I'm giving my sales area details. Let's say VC. Okay, here let's say I'm going to create one order type. I'm going to create one order for the, let's say, steel rebar. Okay, steel rebar. Okay, so in steel rebar, like when you want to steel rebar, when you are going to purchase, like the things you will comes in mind is the dia, the rebar, and the length of rebar, and the grade of rebar. So these parameters will decide its price. Okay, the moment when I press enter, see here I have the different characteristics called diameter, length and grade. Okay, I am selecting diameter as a 4 mm dia. Okay, and the length could be 5 meter. Okay, 4 mm dia and 5 meter length, and the grade, so the grade I will select A. Okay, so this is the things I have selected for the diameter 4 and length 5 and grade A. Okay, let's see how our pricing gets affected based on these selections. Okay, if I go to conditions, see basic price is 1000. Okay, so what is our dia? 4 mm. For 4 mm dia, 500 rupees extra added. And what is our length? 5 meter. So 5 meter, like extra 500 added. And what could be our grade? A. So 1200. Total how much? 500, 500, 1000, 1200, 2200. So 1000 plus 2200 will be added to net value. Total it became 3200. Okay, so this is for the 4 mm dia, 5 meter length and A grade. Okay, so what I will do, I will change the characteristics value. Okay, let's say here only I will change it. Okay, earlier it is 4 mm dia, right? So let's make it as a 8 mm dia. Okay, and length could be 10 meter. And I want to select grade B. Okay, not here, I want to select grade B. Okay, now let's observe the price here. See, so 10 mm it became 1000, and 8 meter length it became 900, and for grade B it became 1000. So total how much it is? 1000, 1200, 2000, 2900, and base price is 1000. So total how much it is? 3900. Okay, so earlier 3200. So this we will call variant pricing. Okay, it depends on the characteristics value you are going to select in during the sales order processing. So based on the variant to select, price will be calculated. So this is the advantage of the variant pricing. Okay, so let me walk you through the both theoretical path and configuration path. Okay, let me take you to the PPT so that I will give you some know-how session on it. Okay, so I hope that example is clear for you, right? So I have based on the variance price getting triggered. Okay, so where variable price is used. So in real time, when same product have multiple variants, price changes based on the size, length, dia, grade, capacity, all those things. So as usual, like it will avoid maintaining the multiple material codes and multiple condition records. Okay, and common business scenarios like steel industries, like just example I showed you, right? Based on diameter, thickness and grade, like the value will be changed. Automotive components, let's say you want to buy a pulsar bike, so in pulsar bike you segment, you will hit a 150cc and 180cc and 220cc. Okay, and like every cc will have different price. And coming to the like alloy wheels, like if you want to buy a bike with alloy wheels, that is different price, and spoke wheels different price, and twin disc, dual disc, and dual disc is ABS. So there are different castings value are there. So based on that value, price gets changes. And machineries and equipment, so calibration equipment, all those things it will be used. So any product, ultimately any product with customer specific configuration, okay, it can be used for the variant pricing. Okay, so this variant pricing will be useful in these scenarios. So this is the high level process overview. So this is the sequence of steps you need to do in order to get the variant pricing. The first step is you should have one configured material. Okay, like how I'm creating steel bar in this video, and how I created a computer like laptop in my previous video. Okay, so likewise you should have one configured materials, and you should define castings like for like dia and grade and length. If it is a computer, like processor, storage location, storage, RAM, all those things. So you have to define castings and its values. Okay, if it is a processor, the value will be i5 or i7 or Ryzen, whatever it is. Okay, if it is a storage, like a 512 GB or 1 terabyte, okay, like that. So and then you have to assign the characteristics to class. Okay, so you have to create a one class, and in that class we have to assign those characteristics to our class. The same class you have to assign it a material master. So these are the T codes. Okay, so these are the relevant T codes for each and every step. And you have to enable pricing. Okay, so this is not required actually. Okay, you can ignore it, which means like by default it will be activated by backend. Okay, the moment you create the configuration profile, okay, it will be activated by default. So here you can change it to the creation of configuration profile in CU42 41. So and then creating the pricing condition for variant pricing. Okay, you should have you want a separate pricing condition for the variant pricing, and then that should be included in the pricing procedure, which procedure that going to come into your sales order. Okay, and you have to maintain the condition records for this condition. You have to maintain the condition records for this variant condition type. Okay, in VK11 you have to maintain. So and then system will calculate the variant price during the sales order. So okay, these are the sequence of steps you need to do in order to get the variant price. Okay, so and coming to these steps, like from step 1 to step 5. Okay, I already covered in the variant configuration video. So like I will attach that video here. You just go there and you just watch it. Okay, so from step 6 to step 8, like we will do it in this video, because 1 to 5 is the basic setup of the configuration material, variant configuration material. Okay, and 6 to 7 is variant pricing. Okay, so it will be very easier to understand. So what could be the how to set up the variant configuration for the materials, and then variant pricing for the material. So this video is all about the variant pricing. Okay, if you want to look at the variant configuration video in my channel, you just go there and watch it. Okay, so these are the configuration steps for the variant pricing. First we have to create one more extra characteristic for the variant price. Okay, so that is from the CT04. So in this variant price, the key things is you have to mention this table STCOM and field vcount, because these fields will have the backend settings to get the fetch the variant price from the sales order. And then you have to assign that price characteristics to the class along with other characteristics. Okay, like along with, like I showed you, right, dia, length and grade, right? So along with those three, you have to assign the price characteristics to our class. and then you have to add process object dependencies to each characteristic value. Okay, means like object, you have to add write a object dependency which is the type is process. Okay, so here you have to remember this syntax: dollar self dot our price variant. So whatever the characteristic we will create here, so that we have to write send it here and equal to value. Okay, so that value, let's say for dia, let's say what we are going to assign for the dia 5 mm. So dollar self dot price variant equal to 5. Okay, so that will be applicable for the 5 dia, and then you have to maintain the variant pricing condition to VA00. Okay, and you and that same should be as maintained in the our pricing position. Okay, after that you have to maintain the condition records for each characteristic value. Okay, so let me take you to the SAP. So like as a continuation of our previous video, I will use the VC laptop material. Okay, for that material I will do all these steps. Okay, let me go to the SAP. So if I go to that TICO CO42, which is a configuration profile change, what is our material? VC laptop, right? Okay, VC laptop. So if you go there, you can see we have the RAM, processor, storage, and along with that, okay, the first thing, what is our first thing? Our first step is to create the characteristic for the variant price. Okay, so we will create the characteristic for this variant price. So if I go to CT04 to create the characteristic, T code is CT04, and the characteristic for the price, I will create jet price. Okay, do you want to create characteristics? Yes. So I can say variant price for laptop. Okay, so data type you can give character 10 something you can give, and description is fine, and values. So here you are no need to add the values here. Okay, so what you have to make sure, you have to make sure in additional data table name, what table name? SD com, and field name VK1D. Okay, these two are the key fields, and one more thing is not ready for input. Okay, so this cannot be input value in the variant process, so it should come automatically from the above values, right? Then I'm saving it. I have saved jet characteristic and I'm saving it. Okay, our first step is done. What is our second step? Second step is to add this characteristic to the our class. Okay, so we have to assign that characteristic to the class, our class. This is the second step. So let me do the second step as well. So the T code for the class creation is CL02. So here, like, our class is jet laptop is our class, and class type is 300 variants. Okay, so this class I created in my previous video. So okay, you just go to that previous video once. Okay, here you can see in characteristics, so we have three types of characteristics here, like one is RAM, processor, storage location. So along with this, we need to add, we need to add our price characteristic also. So jet price. Okay, jet price we need to add it here. So let me save it. That's it. So let me save it. Okay, and our second step also completed. What is our third step? So third step is to add the object dependencies to each characteristics values. Okay, so if I go to CT04, so each characteristics means, like, for laptop, what are the characteristics we are having? RAM. Okay, first we will go with RAM. So inside the RAM, if you go to values, okay, you have different kinds of RAM. So you just select this characteristic value and go to extras. Here you can see object dependencies, and here you have the editor. So click on editor. Here you need to select the procedure. Okay, this is the key thing, procedure. Processing type mode is classic. Okay, so you just select the procedure, click enter. Here the same syntax we need here. Syntax is dollar and self, and what is our pricing characteristic? G price. Okay, G price equal to what is the value, characteristic value. What is our characteristic value? 4. Okay, 4. Okay, and save it. Similarly, you have to do it for the remaining also. 6 also we have to do it. Procedure, change 4 to 6, save, and 8 also, select 8, extras, 8, procedure, may change it to 8, save, and 16. Go to extras, object dependencies, editor, procedure to 16. So you understand this format, right? Dollar self is a SAP standard. This syntax is standard syntax. Okay, so dollar self dot pricing characteristic equal to value of the character value. Okay, so this value, RAM value 16. Save it. So we have saved for all the 4, and then click on save. Now characteristics RAM is changed. So after RAM, what we have to do? Processor. Okay, same thing. If you go to processor and values and select the value, okay, and extras, object dependencies, editor, procedure, same thing. Here the value is i5, right? So same i5. Okay, i5 I need to save, show it here, save, and similarly for i7. Okay, extras, object dependencies, editor, procedure, dollar self check price equal to i7. After that, storage, go to values. You have to repeat this step for the every characteristic value. So each and every characteristics value we have to do the same step. Procedure, save it. See, do you observe that here you can see object dependency. The moment when I add the dependencies, like it is checking the checkbox here. So now it is grayed out. You cannot check the manually. What we have to do, whenever you add the object dependency, dependency, then only it will check automatically. So let's see for this 1 terabyte. Okay, so this thing, right? So let me select it. Now we don't have checkbox here, and if I go to object dependencies, save it. Now you can see the checkbox here. Okay, so the moment when you add the object dependencies, automatically object dependency getting checked. Okay, let me save it. So now our third step also completed, that is maintaining the object dependencies for the each characteristics value. Okay, next coming to our fourth step. What is our fourth step? Fourth step is to maintain the condition record for the variant price. Okay, and that should be included in our pricing procedure. Okay, so this is our fourth step, maintain the variant pricing condition VA00 at pricing procedure. Okay, the condition that you can define your own condition type, or else you can take this standard condition type VA00. Okay, so the key settings I will tell you here. Okay, the key settings are, if I go to VA00 variant price, right? you can copy these settings. Okay, used for the variant configuration. You have to check this checkbox. Okay, either you can use this VA00 or else you can use your G1 condition type. Okay, for this, like, I will create a separate condition type instead of using this one. Okay, instead of VA00 YVA00 variant price SAP. Okay, YVA0. Okay, so let me save it. Let me save on the TM. So same thing I need to include in our pricing procedure. So what is our pricing procedure? So if I go to pricing procedure v/08, I'm not using path. Okay, I'm directly using the T code for it, v/08. So my pricing procedure is SAPN. Okay, here inside, and you have to remember one more thing is, so variant price also should be calculated as the net value. Okay, so it should be the above the above the net value. Okay, so here up from here discounts are getting started, so gross value, so I can give from 10 to 11 here. So what I will do, so it is similar like a base value. Okay, make it as a step as 15. Okay, 15 is free for me. So YVA0 done. So YVA0, our condition type is added. Let me save it. Save under TM. Okay, now our fourth step also completed, but that is the creating the variant price condition type and adding it in the our pricing procedure. So here comes the our final step. So that is the maintaining the condition records. So what is our final step? So maintain the condition record for each characteristics value. Okay, to maintain condition records in each characteristics value, so what we have to do, we have to go to the VK11 need to create the condition type. Okay, what is our condition record for variant price? YVA0. Okay, so this is our sales org and this is our material, right? So we have here in this variant, what we have to do, we have to give the characteristics values. Okay, if I look at the RAM, okay, so in RAM, what are the values I am having? Okay, let me go to the RAM here. So if I go to CT04, if I go to RAM, so I have 4, 6, 8, 6, 8, 16. So 4 GB, 6 GB, 8 GB, 16 GB. Okay, same values I have to give those there as a variant. So here variant for the RAM, I have to give it as a variant 4, 6, 8, 12. Okay, so if it is a 4 GB RAM, okay, so okay, if it is a 12 GB RAM, okay, let's make it as a 2000 rupees, and 4 GB RAM 1000, and 6 GB RAM 1500 and 1800. Okay, on top of base price. Okay, on top of base price, these values will be added. Okay, so this is for RAM. Once RAM is completed, then we have the processor. Processor is, we have i5. Okay, so if it is i5 2000, and if it is i7 4000, and make sure that this is a case sensitive, like the case sensitive in the sense, like you should not give the small letter here. Okay, if you have maintained the characteristic value in capital letters, you should give the capital I. Okay, if it is small letter over there, you have to give the small letter. So this thing is a case sensitive. And processor is done, and coming into 512. So if it is a 512, 1000, and 1 TB, if it is 1 TB storage location, 1200. Okay, done. Now I have to save it. Here our final step also completed, that is maintain the condition record for the each variant. Okay, so each characteristic value we are maintaining the condition record. So now let's go to the sales order creation. If I go to VA01, so this is my order type and sales area. Let's give the sold to party, and if I give the material VC laptop, okay, it will take the configuration screen. So here what I have to do, I will select the 4 GB RAM, and processor will be i5 and storage will be 512. Okay, price get calculated. So if I go to conditions, YVA0, see YVA0 got triggered. Okay, 1000 for the 4GB RAM and 512GB 1000 and i5 2000. Total how much it will be? 4000. Here I haven't maintained any base price. Okay, let's see what if I maintain base price. So it will calculate it, simply it will get calculated. Okay, so if I maintain my base price, yes, 15,000. See, base price is 15,000. On top of it, this 4,000 gets added. Total become 19. Why this 4,000? Because it's 4GB RAM and 512GB ROM and 5 processor. What if I change the processor? Price will get changed. Okay, let's change the processor values. Okay, now it is 19,000, right? You just remember this value. Now it is 19,000. Let's see, I will change the variant values. Okay, instead of 4GB RAM, I will select the 16GB and processor is i7 and storage is 1 terabyte. Okay, let's see now, 20,200. Why? Because for 1 terabyte it is 12,000 and for i7 it is 4,000. Okay, but if you look at here, 16GB RAM, like it didn't calculate it, which means we made a mistake at the pricing condition records. Okay, let me go to the analysis. So YVA0 is our condition. Okay, here 16GB. For 16GB we haven't maintained the condition record, that's why here 16GB, for the 16GB RAM selection we haven't get any price here. So let's go to our pricing condition here. We get what? Changing the pricing condition. So these are our conditions. So if I go there, here you can see there is no value for 16. Okay, we have maintained for the 4GB, 6GB, 8GB, but not for the 16GB. Okay, let's make it for the 16. So for 16, let me make it as a 2,500 extra. Okay, for 16, let me save it. Done. Now if I come to my same sales order, so if I come to same sales order, like this is the same sales order, and if I go to update the price, in the price copy manual prices and redetermine others. Okay, so copy manual price means like we have maintained base prices manually, right? So that's why we won't change the manual price. So make it as a C. See, for 16GB 2,500 get calculated, so total 22,700 value it became. So it's all based on the variant that or else the characteristic values you are going to select in the sales order. Okay, so that's how let me save the sales order. So that's how variant pricing will work during the sales order processing in SAP SD. Okay, so this is how variant price will work in the sales order processing. So if you configure the variant price. So that's it for today, guys. If you found our video useful, please don't forget to like, share, subscribe my YouTube channel SAP Navigator. So if you want to know any advanced topic or new terms, you can comment under the video or you can write an email to me. Okay, I will do the videos on for the same. Okay, thank you guys, have a good day.